That's what I'm looking on the ground. I miss you, boys.
Good to back four is a
Couple
back.
mannequins on last
week's podcast was good.
Was it shite? Was it dog shite?
What is that?
It was actually
I enjoyed it.
No, that's good actually.
Faddy's a hero.
Faddy's
Aye, Faddy is good.
Faddy's a hero.
I like Faddy, aye.
Scotty Allen saying half,
what you saying of that?
Scotty, you're saying that?
What you saying analyst-wise in Scottish football? Faddy, top 10?
Well, Derek Ferguson put him top one, innit? Maybe it's that.
When he first said that was a bad shape, but maybe listening, it was not that bad a shape.
He's better than the majority, I
think top 3.
Very sexy as well.
Aye, Faddy's very good.
He is quite, he gets shy when you say it, he's sexy though, doesn't he?
Aye, he hates
he's a bit embarrassed, doesn't he?
Did you watch it back then?
No.
How do you know it was shite then?
No, I actually did watch it. It was good. It was a bit more serious, but some of the football chat was good.
Did you enjoy the wee podcast?
Oh, I've not watched that since it started, to be honest with you.
How's it going, man? You enjoying it?
No, I'm enjoying that.
They're doing alright. They're doing alright, by the way.
How was Frank? Good?
Horrific. Honestly, keep talking to everybody. That can't happen. We let it on the Cooper show. I've allowed it on the Cooper show, and that's why he'll not be doing it in my show. No way. He'll be on that.
I actually do think you've really grown into that role, mate. I think you've been
so?
superb.
Aye.
Frank isn't bad for talking over. What he's bad for is you're talking about one particular topic and he talks about something totally fucking random.
He's a hero.
He's a legend. He's a legend, of course.
You want to go about anybody, it's Frank. Bad weekend for you, mate.
I know, mate. Honestly.
Hearts, Rangers, and you caught Keevan's texting another guy.
Aye.
Bad weekend, man.
Was a bad
All
weekend.
comes at one start.
See first roll we had holidays, mate. I'd have put one in the day. Oh fucking.
You were thinking of throwing one in the day.
I was genuinely thinking about chucking it.
See, that's the measure of the man. He's here.
But see, I was.
Do you know anybody else that would not turned up with Dave?
I had a text from it last night.
Your grandmother died yesterday.
Kenny, my grandmother died.
How many times did you have COVID last year? 8 COVIDs.
Sorry, mate. What were you going to say?
I was actually going to ask you a genuine question. Right? It's starting off at a pretty dull start, but see when you've played and then now when you're a coach, see when you lose, like how are you after games?
Worse ever.
I would agree.
What much worse is it before as a coach rather than a player?
You take it so personal, eh?
Aye.
It's awful.
See, when I was a player, too, I would love to sit here and say it did. I went straight out, mate. Especially at Swindon, mate, every Saturday.
I did when I was younger. But see now, mate, honestly, just that. And I think certain games, it's a bit different. See if the team's played all right and you fucking missed 100 chances, and you go home and you're like, gutted, but tell you what, we were decent today. See the weekend, mate, we were so poor. That's one of the poorest we've played since I've been here.
I was shocked at that when I seen the result at the end there.
Livy were decent, to be fair.
Because Livy haven't had great results either, you would think that Hearts, I think Hearts' record against Livy is very good. I think they've won 8 of the last 9.
Since I've been here, I think we beat them every time,
So,
well, I'll tell you how hard we've taken defeat. We had an absolute meltdown last week.
Aye.
Full coaching staff.
What one?
Even after we won 2 games.
I think it was the best thing that happened though, wasn't it? Because you have to be honest with each other. But the probably thing is when you're pals, you don't do that.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? You try to think everything's all right. So we had my lip was fucking trembling. I was trying to speak when my mouth was on fire. So no, it's good. Listen, we sorted it and so all the way up now, innit?
Mate, see the Glen Office game. I've never felt as low in that in my full football career. After we went to Glen Office, mate, me and Dan got shouted at Frankie and she's like to me, you need to go for a 45-minute walk at 9:30 on a Saturday night, mate. Just thinking, what the fuck?
Aye. But do you know,
that was low, mate.
I think when you're obviously a young, like an earlier coach like you are, like stuff like that will try and question your beliefs. Yeah. But to be fair, you've stuck with it in the last couple of weeks. Has been fucking brilliant.
Really happy. Saturday's the best it's been.
Oh, what a feeling.
Because the boys played, but the character they showed. I looked at it today. Our midfield 3 was Aidan 19, Matty McDonald 19, and Sem 21. Up against good, hardened pros. Decky Hughes, good player. They're good team, Boris, and they 3 were not just they 3. The full team, mate, the character that they showed. Individual battles, 2-2, mate. Dale's like, a draw wouldn't be a bad result. We're like, fuck, I try and win. Brock again, miss a few chances, mate, but he's just so brave. He keeps taking the ball. And again, listen to instruction. Our thing before the game was take throw-ins, take free kicks, quick, keep the intensity up, keep it up.
I wonder where you got that
from. Don't know, in a Australian accent. Ball goes out for a corner, 2-2. It could have been easy for them to get Broaders up, get Cookie up, Brock, ball down, play, him, James Grant, 1-2, Brock across goal, Ryan Tierney, he did.
Amazing.
Superb.
But some of the abuse we got on the side of that pitch, mate.
Wow, the worst. By the way, I'm not even joking.
It's like Tynecastle, man. Remember going to Tynecastle, it sounded like the abuse you used to get.
I could have done it at Motherwell as well when I was 15 at Tynecastle, walked down the line, boys were slotting calling us pizza face then, and then that guy called us pizza face the other day.
It was the same guy.
How many punters we thought about?
It was a good crowd.
Aye.
Hostile.
It was too much, mate, wasn't it? We were doing the warm up at the start. So the boys are doing a circle stretching, I'm in the middle, just gave me out the bibs what I do. And a fan stood up and was like, Susie Slin's a mattress. And I put my head down like that, like, I hope the boys haven't clocked that. And I've said nothing to the boy, and a minute later I've been like, hey mate, I like the thumb up.
Did you give me a thumbs up?
I didn't understand what he said, but then somebody said, that's what he said.
See, the best thing was, when we scored to win 3-2, every single one, I'm always at to put on the bench, didn't act like fucking idiots, be reserved, win, mate, 3-2, we're all at to the fans.
It's brilliant, wasn't it?
But you are talking about like Tynecastle and hostile crowds. I always think crowds like that are worse because you hear every individual shout.
Oh my word.
Everything just stands out.
Mate, I was getting it.
I think somebody said to him, I want you to die.
Die or something like that, I hope you die or something. I was like, fucking hell, man.
How's your hammy?
No, it's my hit, mate. Number 9 hit is a belter. He was a good player, 9.
Oh, but this is brilliant, right? So he's came off injured, right? So just as he's came off injured, the physio's like, Whelan's put your shots up to put ice on it or strap it or whatever. But then obviously he's the manager, so after he's done that, he's walked out, but he's forgot to pull the shots down, so he's on the sideline with his 2 arse cheeks hanging out.
No, that was deliberate.
Crack me arse, you've got on you.
You know what else was good Saturday? Have you seen the best strip?
Aye.
Belter.
So we were on the pitch, and it was just before I went out, and Broaders, big Broaders, like, can I talk to you? And I was like, what's up? He's like, you're a bastard. And I was like, what? He's like, fucking got me in a Celtic bumblebee strip. I was like, I hope you turn into fucking Paolo Di Canio, big man. But he was fuming with that fucking bumblebee strip.
I did enjoy it, did he? But that is, I think, see, but sorry,
it's a nice kit, innit?
It's a nice kit, aye.
No, it's a lovely
Matches my teeth. What about guys on the bench, 2-2, tell them? I only found this out
2-2, and they've broke through to score. But just before they broke, he's let a fart off. But the fart lasted for about fucking 10 seconds. And all the coach was like, oh my God, they're going to score and he's still farting. So we've all had the giggles. Oh mate, it was fucking
She's laughing as they're scoring.
Actually, I could hear him. I was on the side, obviously, trying to help the boys. We're playing brilliant.
No, they hear him.
So he kept saying, we're playing brilliant, man.
He was like that. We're awesome. Kept saying we're awesome.
I said that.
Yeah, I don't know what was it.
He was trying to be funny, I know, but...
Did he start the game?
That was good. That was what was good as well, Kev. Gaz, obviously, big player for us, captain. In the warm-up, something's happened to his calf. So we had Jacob out, Regan out, Evan out, Gibbo out, Gaz out. I had to come off. Six players who usually play in the team. So Cookie had to go and play centre-back, was an absolute warrior, kind of putting people different positions that they didn't usually play. But like I said, every single one of them were...
But a wee podcast is done now, isn't it? Podcast that's what we're talking about,
See when I seen the result as well, because I think since the start of the season, I think you've been really good at home. Whereas the away games has been a bit more of a challenge because it's either tighter pitches or no great surfaces. But that result, because Bonus are doing well as well.
And it affects me, you play as well, Andy, because see the pitch, it was so narrow. So our game is wide players coming in, but I had to change that because the pitch was far too narrow. If they'd came in,
there's no space.
No space, so I had to kind of change after seeing the pitch. But again, the boys just...
Honestly, I love the boys, and that's...
Recently, these last 3 games, they have stepped up because the squad is depleted with injuries and things like that, but they proper stepped up.
And that was the thing,
guys playing, like the 2 you mentioned, day 2, McDonald and McLaughlin, for me, since day dot, they've been very, brilliant. Very good. For 2 young boys at 19 years old, the work rate they 2 put in is incredible. I think that helps massively.
He's my... I maybe shouldn't put it out there, but he's my favourite player. I've said it to him from the start. Aiden's my favourite player.
I seen him playing for the under-20s last year at the back of Broadwood. No, you can get in a game for the first team. And flinging his arms up, being lazy, and look at him now, mate.
He's just the opposite of what he is when you're watching your team. He's so I think he's so infectious to other boys as well.
100%.
But his reaction, his enthusiasm, his work rate, it's so infectious.
A good group of boys, like they all seem to get on well with each other. And then when the times are tough, like they're really sticking together, and obviously there's no game this weekend, which is disappointing because you'd want to keep that momentum going and getting maybe a 4th win. But
and again, Kev, that's football as well. Jamie Semple, I went and signed him in the summer. I must have spoke to about 20 people about him, 10 of them like, nah, I didn't sign you, you'll never get him to run.
Doesn't run.
Lazy. Last 3 games, runs and missed it every single. He came over to me and said, I can't. I must have hurt his foot or something. I can't tackle. I was like, I've never seen you fucking tackle. When did you start? But he's pure. He's feeling it now, Sam, isn't he?
Even talking to the whole team, getting the name going and a leader at there. Actually, it's amazing. What a boy!
I think you said it before. Like that boy could go again.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, he's had disappointing bit in releasing whatever. You've given him an opportunity. He looks after himself right. His ability in his feet.
Some of his touches, Kev, Saturday.
It's how he thinks. He's a wee bit step ahead of everybody else in terms of how he gets his body shape in, protects the ball, and that wee layoffs, wee link-up play. He could go again in the right system.
Yeah.
I think certain systems won't fit him, but in the way you play, he fits that role perfectly.
And a special mention to Brock Watson, who I'm convinced will never score a goal, but we didn't give a fuck.
No, he
keeps taking it all the time, man.
I genuinely do not know what happens to his foot when it gets in the box.
Dislocates.
What
a boy, mate, honestly.
He could have scored 8 against Albany.
No.
That's right, he could have scored 8.
Doesn't affect him at all, mate.
No, it's crazy,
He's
it's
still the most
amazing.
confident boy in the world, all that.
Do you mind if I move on to something, Sam?
Please do.
Me and Kev, because you're probably a part of it a bit more as well. How good's that documentary?
I couldn't tell you, mate.
You not seen it yet?
The only cricket
mate, it's amazing. Honestly,
it's amazing.
Was it cricket yesterday morning?
Aye.
Right, so obviously I had a bad
horsing
Saturday.
all morning, didn't you?
Oh, I had a bad Saturday.
Huh?
Because
Not as bad as mine.
I went to watch the Celtic and Rangers game, and I thought I'll just do a few pints. I was doing for a family meal, 5 o'clock. She says, "Beat shit back for 5." Back at 5, I was absolutely steaming.
Documentary's fucking.
I did watch the clip, the preview clip, and I thought, this is for the people who want this project to fail. Watch it and see how serious the boys are taking it. That's how
I had a fear yesterday. I was texting all you saying was there anything you'd get taken out and that. I was like, oh fuck.
I think they're just
she watched it and she's raging by the way how she looks on it. She's like, she's mortified by how she looks, but she was like to me, I think you look like a bit of an idiot. And I was like, that's the last thing I need to fucking hear.
But you've never once, you've always been you though. That's what I was saying to you. If whatever comes, that's always been you, even regardless of cameras there. You don't even realise they're there.
Yeah, right.
Plus, Steph's never been the football changing room. That's just like what people are. Do you know what I mean? Like you're emotional, you do get angry, you do say some stuff that you might end up regretting in a couple of days, but it's just all raw emotion in it. So
I watched the first 5 minutes this morning before I came. I thought I'll watch a wee bit, and then obviously I saw the introduction with George Fraser. Thought should cut that bit out of George.
What a guy.
But also big news, we haven't spoke about it. This man's back in football.
I know his debut last week. I see him around that
stand up.
Didn't
stand up.
Thanks, boys.
Do what everyone was doing at Broadwood last week.
It was some cheer, wasn't it?
It was some cheer, mate.
It was some reaction, honestly. It was.
Me and Andy were sitting watching it, and we were shouting very loudly down to Dale, "Get Slaney on!"
I know, because we kept hearing Si shouts for the pitch to the bench. And Si was like, that's 10 minutes, get on. And it went like, what was it, 4-1 or something? Like, get on the news, 20 to go.
I know.
Man, you didn't know because you've never played for so long, we didn't want you to blow up after. I
was worried because I think you said that at 25 minutes to go. And I'm like, I can't because my legs will blow up. But that's what I keep saying to you, even in training runs, I need to get through that. So when they blow up, but I was like, see if they blow up and then the whistle goes, I'm going, what the fuck have I done out there? Yeah. So we've done it the last 10, but I genuinely, this is between us, I nearly started greeting out the pitch. Because see the 6 year before that, when I left, that was the last time I played on that pitch. I left there with my family, walked to the stadium because I was embarrassed the way I was. And then obviously the family were all cheering, amazing.
What was going through your head when you're warming up, sorry, Andy?
I wasn't nervous at all. Sometimes I overplay that. I'm not really nervous to go and play football. Sometimes I talk shit. It was more my fitness, but see, sometimes you come on a sub and you can't get up to the speed of the game. So I was like, see if I go out here and I fucking make an arse it. But then I kept fighting, see when I was on after the first minute, right? In my head, this was generally in my head, I was like, I've not touched the ball yet. I was like, podcasting Monday, they're going to keep caning me that I never touched the ball.
What about I put a clip up of the boys smashing them? You seen it?
For that game?
Oh, mate,
you put that up.
We'll put it up in the episode, right, mate? Honestly, because I did the clips after the game, obviously. See, when I seen it, mate, I watched it about 10 times.
I can't even remember
He gets fucking forearmed right in the face.
He's like that. He was like a big slob that falls down.
RSPCA turned up, didn't it? Saying who put an Under Armour on a Shetland pony.
You know, he's saying, didn't he? Try to catch me on it.
I'm not just saying this, mate, but I thought you'd done well, mate. I thought you done really well.
Popped it really well.
You got a great passage of play for about 2 minutes where you just flicked it round the corner on the touchline, you played it back inside, you moved again and just didn't move very far.
Do you know
see just that wee bit of fitness that you're obviously still lacking now. So see that wee bit, right? There was so many scenarios because how open was the game the last 10 minutes, Kev? We were like, see if you bust your arse in the box, you're getting a goal here. Because they were gone in the last sort of 10 minutes.
Busted his ass last night, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
But you
actually did. Day one burst into the box and I took Tierney out. Sprinted right into the back of him, took him straight at it.
I don't know if this will get taken out because it might be on the documentary, but after it in the dressing room, we came in and I said, well done to Slaney, and I was at Tom Giza song. And all the boys started singing Amsterdam.
Amazing,
brilliant, mate.
What a feeling. What a buzz, honestly, as I said, after all that.
And then you've not been seen since, so that's fucking good. When will we see you again on the...
Well, it was obviously because we had the game on straight after on the Tuesday. And I had obviously was there in Holland, wasn't I? Because see when you get a taste it, You just want to keep
still talking about football?
No. No, but when you get that wee taste, you just want to keep, genuinely, it gives you that buzz. And I think that was probably, I think Dale said that, he was like, you might think you're not ready to play the new right, all these boys are fit, but you just get yourself on for the first time and then it'll change, you'll want it even more. Do you know what I mean? When you go on there, you actually start to believe it. So
you've got yourself to that level of fitness, you can come on, but to get to that next level of fitness, to actually
get to where we
make a real good impact,
that has to be.
That comes with games as well, mate. As much as you think you training for a month is, like, see the 10 minutes here, the 15 minutes, come down and play for the 20s in a friendly if you want to play for us.
Well, and then that again, you offered that a long time ago.
He still no came down to one session. See how many sessions he's told me he's coming to and no came.
He's an entrepreneur tonight. He's got businesses to run.
Youngest double CEO.
We'll talk about it after the podcast.
I said that the other day in the Broomhill one.
Double CEO.
This is what company's name. Went Boca and he nearly dropped a hint of the other one, but we'll not say too much.
And he set up his own limited company now.
Aye.
Still no way to the bank.
Balling into son.
Grown up, aren't you?
Flying it.
Ain't you, kid?
Flying.
Went to Hydo last night for the first time
was it?
since
Kevin Bridges?
Since us. Unbelievable, mate.
Was he good?
Oh, brilliant.
He's not having him.
To be honest,
I think he's fucking magic.
To be honest, no, but I'm being honest, his last show that he done at the Hydo, I thought it was alright. I didn't think it was brilliant, but that one there, mate, was incredible.
Is it good?
But I was saying to Slane in the car, that's the first time I've been back to the Hydo since obviously the live show. It's so weird being back there, mate, because the full show I just kept saying to Jilly, like, I can't believe we performed
on that stage. It must be weird, because I've not
been
back.
You're looking at the crowd for obviously, because we're like near the back, and it's like the amount of people that's there, like, how do we do that, man? And it's just like unbelievable.
You were saying he stood up on the stage for an hour and a half, speaking without a sheet. We had 10 years, we all had a sheet.
Sheets and videos and fucking another guest, get him on Sunday up for the crowd. He stood there for an hour and a half, just telling jokes.
But he requested for that dildo to be left in the dressing room, didn't he?
Requested that. Cummins came out and all, didn't he?
Cummins came out as a joker.
But who wants to mention Grosvenor Sport? They've been unbelievable for us.
Andy's been good at that. I think
He's the man. He's the Grosvenor man.
What was the score there, Andy?
They beat Verstappen on the line. Sign up offer from Grosvenor Sport is bet £5 and get £25 in free bets on any sport. Sign up at gsport.com/open goal.
Did you do any other sports at the weekend?
Aye, I had one last night.
No. Who won?
It was a strange experience last night. It was very strange.
Was it?
Aye, we'll talk about it after here.
Batman costume out again.
In stockings out again?
Oh no, we'll talk about it after here. Strange. Very strange.
Has she got the Wi-Fi working again for that?
On Linny, she's got a brand new job.
Oh, she well done, lad. Go on. She was in goals for Rangers at the weekend, did she not?
I swear, I was going to say something like that.
She applied for a new role in education and she got it.
What a woman, man.
Superb. So
good on her.
I'm proud of her.
So was that her gift? Was that well done last night?
Was I? Strange though.
Good man. Right, Kev, tell them that we're playing next couple of Friday. The next couple of games are Friday nights.
A couple of Fridays we've got.
Get yourself done.
No game this weekend, so a well-earned break, badly needed, but Hearts B on a Friday night, and we've got, is it Brora Rangers?
It's just been confirmed, 16th of September, Brora, 16th. Quarter to 8 kick-off. There you go. 2
Friday nights, get yourself along, nothing happening on Friday night, get yourself along down to Broomhill, Broadwood.
And I tell you what, I've been to every home game, and it is actually brilliant, like, gone down, different type of football, but really good style of football that you're going to watch.
Absolutely.
What I would say is that all games are quite exciting, eh? It's never even sad.
You look at the Lowland though, there's always goals in it.
Yeah.
Every game's got goals. So it is, but I mean, I'd imagine that being a Friday night Hearts will take a good crowd as well, which will be good.
That'd be great.
Because you've not had a proper away support at a game yet, so that could be good.
I want to give a shout out to Bonus because I thought I never gave them enough credit after giving them an interview, so I thought they were really good.
They're brilliant, honestly.
I think they've not won in 4, which...
All right.
I think he's maybe under a wee bit of pressure, but I spoke to him after the game, mate. He's a really good guy.
Yeah, they're brilliant, honestly. Even the way they go about, they were in hard and stuff like that, but they were fair.
The game could have went either way as well, so they were good.
It was, because that's what I said, it was tweets, they broke right through. Cookie done a great last ditch tackle, but it was a fantastic game to be involved in. Brilliant, they boys.
They started well the season as well, they were right up there.
Yeah. I can see why. I think they'll get back there.
They're a good team.
And results, obviously, looking at results on the table last bit on it, results kind of went the way and helped, so it's hoping.
And breaking news, Matty Flynn's going back to them.
I spoke to him this morning and he texted us.
He's going back to them.
You know who he texted a picture of, didn't you?
Gordon.
He loves that pattern, doesn't he?
Right, he does
love it. He loves it, man. Link to buy tickets in the description box below.
Yep.
Superb.
Good, get yourself on, that'd be amazing.
Right, who wants to start? Celtic and Rangers.
I've only seen the highlights.
So we watched it in the motor on the way to the game, and it was obviously me, him in the back. Our goalie coach is probably the biggest Celtic fan you'll ever meet in your life, and then Dale's driving the motor. So Jim's got his iPad in the front, mate, and he's screaming in Dale's ear, and Dale's fucking slammed the brakes and he's like, I'll fuck you at this motor.
Mate, being serious enough.
He was fucking... We had him on toes, didn't we?
Yeah, we were all over him.
So that'd be 3 Celtic in the car and Dale.
Mate, I've never seen Dale that angry, mate. He's usually the best laid back guy in the world. He's like, I'll fuck you at this motor. Mate, Big Jim's like, fuck you at the motor. Mate, they're nearly rolling about each other.
What was the score at this point?
Pitching ourselves laughing. 2-0. 2-0, mate. Fucking funny.
Before we go back, tell a couple of your goalkeeper coaches' shouts, but please.
He's a
one of them is the best ever.
We beat Cowden Beef 3-0, so I came in after the game, I'm getting this big fucking speech, and then I finished my speech and he goes like that, right, who's like a fucking diddy? He stood up and shouted, talking about, he goes up and gives the boys dead arms all the time.
He just cracks it.
He cracks him. Phones me up, I love him a bit, he's good mate, but he phones me up, got you a player, striker. I was like, Jim, I've no budget, I can't get a striker. Right, I'll speak to you later then. Then he'll phone us up 2 hours later, he's like, right, got you a goalie, coming in the night. What time's training? I was like, 8 o'clock, the same as every night. He phones me every night, what time's training?
Alright, boss.
Alright, boss. He's a hero, funny.
Just cracks everybody, makes you turn around, he's always digging people in the
ribs.
ribs.
His trainers up when he was in for the warm-up on Saturday, didn't he?
Pumping them up.
What a guy.
You've got to start off with the Celtic.
Well, obviously, we watched the first half an hour in the motor, and that was delayed, wasn't it? Because you obviously the signal, and then I've watched the highlights for it. But everything I said I wasn't going to come back because I said Rangers were going to kick the ball. I said that I thought Rangers were going to go more direct. No kicking the ball as in just hitting the striker, but I mean playing out to goals, and he hit the diagonal, just sort of beat Celtic's press that way. They'd never done that at all. That might have been a mistake, but I think that watching the first goal, the second goal, Rangers' reaction to free kick's shocking. You even seen Van Bronckhorst. The first goal is a wee bit different because I think Rangers players thought it was their throw-in. So by the time they realised Celtic had already taken the throw-in, and I think the keeper's got to save it. The first one.
100%.
Got to save the first one for me. And you can say they should be closing players down, but because of that incident, they took a quick throw-in and Rangers thought it was theirs. Listen, in a game like you need to be ready for that. So I think they should have. It was the second goal was an absolute disgrace. You get told at 10-year-old.
Standard of ball.
Get the ball and let your teammate. And the way Celtic playing going to take quick free kicks, and Van Bronckhorst was actually screaming at the players, so clearly they knew that was going to be a thing Celtic were going to do. I think McLaughlin again, I keep throwing the guy on the bus, he's probably getting slaughtered all over the place, but I think
I thought Celtic had loaned him Tommy Sheridan. I thought that's who was in
I think
goals.
he was in. Honestly, he could have been in Big Yon. I don't know what the big man was doing, honestly, but when you look at a guy which was, hard.
Where's this came from? Alan McGregor's not the Rangers number 1.
I know.
Why would you sign McGregor again to be there and he's going to be in number 2? And I don't. We said that I think McLaughlin's a good backup goalkeeper, but when you've got McGregor, not even his ability as a goalkeeper, he's a leader, he's a captain.
I think it will show how much faith that Giovanni Van Bronckhorst has got in John McLaughlin when the team sheet comes out during the week, because I think there's probably a bit more pressure now than there was at the start for Alan McGregor to come back in, and to be fair, he's definitely not covered the selling glory, but I said off air to use last week, you could sense that could have came, because I think if you look at Celtic's domestic form for a long time, it's quick, it's high tempo, it's unselfish runs off the ball, they always come flying out the gate, and when they do it well and they score, they often win games in the first sort of 20-30 minutes. Whereas I think Rangers domestically for a long time has been slow, ponderous, sluggish, quite tactical, to break down teams, and it's taken them. Rangers went something like 10 games without scoring in the first half an hour. They played last week against Ross County. So that could have happened. The game was either going to be won or lost or a result for Rangers in the first 30 minutes. And I actually thought, I know it's only 5 minutes, but I thought they started all right. And see with Kyogo going down injured. Yeah. And listen, I hope he gets back fit. I'm not saying anything about that at all. But I thought that might suit Rangers. See the fact that the tempo of the game's going to go down. Rangers can just set themselves, play their way into the game, try and get Celtic's crowd to get back on top of them, and then play the game for there. But then 7 minutes in the tape, I go, I know what you're saying, right? But 12-year-olds are told that when the ball goes out, you can't be arguing with a referee for 30 seconds, you need to get back into your shape, because you're not going to change the decision. And I know there's frustration there, but if anyone, I'm talking about Celtic with how quick they're intense. We spoke about it after we played Celtic at Parkhead, how quick they regain when the ball goes out for goal, catching the ball straight back in, how quick when the ball goes out that the ball boy's already chucked it to throw in, take it throw. So Rangers must have knew that. and they've conceded 3 goals for it. A quick throw in and 2 quick free kicks.
Giovanni Van Bronckhorst said in his interview afterwards that we prepared for that.
Yeah, that must be such a frustrating thing as a coach, Kev.
This is we prepared for them to take free kicks quick, take throw-ins quick, take everything quick, and we still haven't done it. You've got your captain Tavernier moaning about the ball going out, no being there throw-in, and then eventually it gets into the box and Abada's done, and then he's gone. If his first reaction is pointing at people and going, "Get tighter," I'm sitting there and thinking, how ironic is that? You've just stood there and watched your player toss the ball into the box.
Yeah.
Like double standards. So I'd be annoyed at that. Like you say, that everybody's going to say something. The second goal, just hold on to the ball. John Lundstrom's good a free kick. I think he's offside. I think he must have been offside. Hold the ball, throw it back to him, or put it behind. They don't take that free kick. You see Van Bronckhorst on the touchline going. And then the third goal, the Jota goal.
It's a great finish. I know
the second one. It's incredible.
I like the goal he can do it with the goal because it's an unbelievable finish. The height it's went over.
Yeah.
But see this pass through. O'Reilly's got time because he's managed to get that space from the quick free kick. But surely, I'm not saying Tavernier, but Tavernier and Goldson, Jota saw danger. Surely they must see danger. Try and get back in quicker.
Yeah.
But his touch, it zipped off the surface and he's managed to get it under control. That's a feat. We're
sending that video to our fucking ball boys, my sons and your sons, honestly. Never seen a group of boys. He's in, he got invited 25. Boys are just turning up at Broadwood for the school. Or Frankie says, give me a ball boy. It's about 25 and they're not sitting fucking looking at his phone.
They're checking all the scores of the games.
I pulled him Saturday night, I was like, rap match.
TikTok.
And Harry got one in the...
Harry fucking got... The physio for Broomhill had to come on and see my boy last
week. But did you hear him? But everybody's like, I hope he's alright. He's like, get fucking over again.
See, I wanted to ask you on Barisic, right? Because as a coach, obviously, when the ball's on the other side, you maybe tell your defence, you do front post, you go middle, you go back. But in these occasions, when you know that, what's his name? Abada. Does what he does, would you not just say to Barisic, see when the ball's on the other side, just attach yourself.
Mate, you mark men, you don't mark space. Space doesn't score goals.
That's
no,
but does that not go against everybody's argument that you shouldn't be then following a player?
No,
because when it comes out of the box, so
if a guy's there unopposed, your first centre half always covers the front of the goal because any square ball that gets flashed across should be there to deal with. But everyone else, you mark men, you don't mark space. It says space doesn't score goals, and Rangers have actually got enough men to combat the amount of players that Celtic have got in the box. And what happens is he drops deep when he's got nobody behind him, and by the time Sands tries to squeeze a shot, he can't block it. So I'm with you. I've seen people try to defend that, but for me it's his man. You've got to deal with it.
It's 6 goals he scored against Barisic.
Space doesn't score goals. Space doesn't score goals.
It's poor.
Do you know what I mean?
But see, what I will say is right, which sort of flings catting amongst the pigeons, as I like to call it. See this fan debate all the time. See this fan debate all the time. That see if Rangers went in there and sat in and tried to frustrate, and they lost, and people say, "Yeah, I need to have a go at them." Rangers come out and try and have a go. They go man for man. With Celtic try to play out. Jane Sands is stepping into midfield to Matt O'Reilly, and you get beat 4-0. So there's no right or wrong. It's up to a manager how he sees tactically fit to go and try and get a result to see what happens. So I don't see any Rangers fans saying, I tell you what, but at least Rangers have a go. Do you know what I mean? They can beat 4-0.
As good as Celtic were fast going forward, out of possession, their shape was amazing with O'Reilly sitting in, just scanning.
Mate, they're brilliant out of possession.
Out of possession,
so whenever Goldson got it and went to Sands, to Barisic, O'Reilly stopping that ball for getting it in the middle of midfield constantly. So Rangers didn't really have that one to get into Davis or get it into Lundstrom. Sometimes they had to go long, and then eventually when they didn't go long, they played the wrong pass and Celtic were on it and got it and put them under so much pressure.
See, on Van Bronckhorst, because I said on the Coupon show he usually gets tactically right, I thought he got tactically wrong. If you're going 4-3-3 and you play Tilleman, who's a 10, isn't he? He's playing it on the right, on the right.
I think tactically he's been brilliant.
That's what
in Europe,
I said. I think so.
Domestically, I think domestically Rangers and Celtic have a style because they go to win every game. You're expected to win every game. I think the only really time that they're tactically challenged, shall we say, in domestic football is against each other. And then maybe your Tynecastles, your Easter Woods, Pataudis. But I think for the most part, I think in Europe, you're right. I think he's got some decisions spot on. Where he's been fighting the back and press or sat in.
Last year at Hampden got his tactics spot, didn't he? Where he was going to get right.
But see for me, what I was going to say is like, Jota's had a lot of credit and deservedly so. He's started unbelievable, but I think O'Reilly's been unbelievable for Celtic this season.
He looks like he's got everything, doesn't he?
I honestly think you've called it, Si, maybe about a year ago, you said, is it the best football we've seen in this country for a long time.
I'm not saying it's the best, but it's my favourite to watch. No, just because if it was Dundee United playing, it would be my favourite to watch. And that's how I like to see football.
What would you say, Si, and what would you say when Kenny Miller said it's Brendan Rodgers' style as well?
No, I prefer it.
No, this is a lot quicker.
So I think so as well. Because I think Brendan Rodgers was sometimes...
The goalie touched the ball in the centre forward to Brendan Rodgers. This is just get the ball and fucking attack every time you get it.
The highlights the fact that in the first 4 minutes when Kyogo had to go off, Celtic didn't change anything. Jagger just come on and did a similar role but in a different way. Stayed high up the park, made it difficult for the two Rangers centre-halves. If Kyogo had been in the park, he'd have made it difficult by making runs in behind. So Celtic were just too good on the day, and Rangers were, I would say, they were just off it. They're
relentless, aren't they?
Did the family do the naked tuddle without you? Because you're obviously...
No, they don't do it when I'm not there.
Oh, they don't know?
No.
So how do they watch it?
They're
fully clothed.
What was the clay?
Your dad letting off flares? No, you had no, what was he like, sir?
No, it's like, come on. I try to stay away from that crap, but but the others,
the family happy to
the other family.
How was the matter, Sam? Was she quite happy with the result?
Some shit like that. She was buzzing. No, she was at the game. James.
Oh, that's right, James.
Again, the best guy I would ever meet, the best sell.
Are we getting him on loan, aren't we?
Aye, if Ange wasn't happy when we asked him that, was he?
No.
But the greatest, it's going to be in about a year's time, the most decorated Celt in history. James Forrest with the amount he's won. He sorts of that
statue, you said?
100%. It has to be. Can't it not be?
That size on it.
Statue like that.
We can all throw sticks. Slaggy boy.
He's a hero.
No, he's amazing. But that's what he said. Friday night, I'm lying in my bed, accompanied and
lying on the mattress, lying on your mat.
So I'm lying in my bed there, and I get a message in for Forrest before a game like that, saying, "Listen, I've got 2 tickets for your family. They 2 go there, and they're going to make bouncing about." Do you know what I mean? What a feeling! And as they knew, I mean, it's not that long ago. Before Ange came in, you were thinking, I remember us all sitting there thinking, it's going to take Celtic years. Yeah. And it's not even that he's came in and got Celtic competing again. He's just out of this world. The fit boys playing, him as a guy, I would honestly say, and it might be a bit, I think he's the best since Jockstein.
Wow.
I really do. I think he's got that thing about him as well when you meet him. Or you see the fans have taken to him that as well. It's a big statement, and I wanted somebody to say something because it's been a bit awkward since
he's just a great guy, a great human being, isn't he? That's
you phone him a lot, don't you?
No.
It's
you don't talk to you now?
No.
It's getting the players that he got in and for them to hit the ground running and blend into the way he wants to play. And I'm pretty sure that if he was your manager, you would run through brick walls for him.
Yeah.
So when he's asking you to press, work hard as you've ever done to make things, do things quicker, get the ball back quicker, you're going to go and do it. And I think that's evident.
Can I ask you something?
They're very, very good. Celtic's very good.
See if you're Van Bronckhorst, right, and you go away to PSV and beat them, how can you not have a performance like that? Do you know what I mean with that?
They did play a bit different though, didn't they?
But why would you not stick? Was Celtic just too good? Was that
the Celtic performance at Parkhead at the turn of the year when they won 3-0 and the Blue Rangers away that night? Van Bronckhorst that night? It was. He learned from that, and then the next few old firms were a lot different. I mean, Rangers, I think there was Celtic, there was 2 draws and then they beat them in the semi-final, so he learned a lot from that, so he'll go away and do that again, and some of the players will go away and look at themselves and say, I wasn't good enough.
You do need to remember as well, he's missing a lot of big players.
Aye.
Just Sands is now, Sands wouldn't even be second choice left centre back, it'd be Suter or Davis, wouldn't it?
I don't know.
No?
Well, I don't know, because they've played every single... Connor Goldson's had about 7 centre-half partnerships already at the start of the season.
And then Lawrence has probably been your best player since the start of the season. He's out for 6 weeks. I'm surprised that they never brought more players in the window now.
That's frustrating.
I think everyone is... You only need to look at Van Bronckhorst's interview after PSV, where he basically says, I need players. We've got Champions League, we've got the financial benefit. Mate, they've been crying out for a right winger for 5 years. Yeah. Literally 5 years. Yeah. And the boy Matondo can't get in the squad in the biggest domestic game of the season.
Is he not in the squad now?
He wasn't in the squad now. And there's nothing been mentioned about injuries or whatnot. And I think they need another midfielder. I think that's apparent as well. But I think that's the 2 sort of problematic positions that Rangers fans have been asking for about 5 windows.
But what's the deal with it? Because they must have made a fortune in Europa League run.
Champions
League, they've got the money there.
Sold Patterson, sold Bassey, sold Daribo.
Wonder what the spend is. Sorry, Kevin.
I know it's a long shot, but somebody like Ross Barkley, who was in a free transfer,
he's just signed for Nice.
He's probably in a fortune.
I know he might be, but at that time, surely even if he'd have made a wee bit of noise, it might have got a wee bit of excitement or something. to show an interest, but there was no...
Even a Martin Boyle or something,
there was nothing...
Right, winger, a wee chance on him there.
Mate, I said that fucking about 3 years ago in the podcast, Martin Boyle in for
and you got slaughtered
for it, so...
So
they needed something.
You're asking, you're saying that you think they need players. See the team that finished the game, at the weekend, not one was a new signing. That speaks volumes for me. It does, because look at Celtic's team.
So that's unfair
compared to when Ange Postecoglou came into
that's
before
what I'm saying,
he was
he's been backed at Ange, whereas has Gio Van Bronckhorst been backed?
Well, Gerrard had the same problem. Remember, Gerrard came out, I think it was in that the season he left, just before, a few months before, he was saying we need players in, we need to strengthen to compete, and that was after they won the league. He left, obviously, he went to Villa, but it seems the same again, that they must have fortunes there with the Europa League.
Because I think Van Bronckhorst's a good manager, but he'll only be a good manager as the players that you've got. He needs, I think he needs better players.
The way the English market is, and world football in general, there are players out there that you can go and get if you've got the right scouting network, the right recruitment. There's players that on the, whatever it may be, look at some of those Premiership squads down England, there must be a right winger or a midfielder in amongst that could come up and do a job for Rangers. There has to be. So why you got? If I was a Rangers fan, you're asking why isn't there any signings?
Well, I think in the summer there was the same sort of 3 or 4 players mentioned. Even back to when Gerrard was the manager, there was the same 3 or 4 players mentioned all the time. That's the main targets. That's who we're going for. You only look at Antonio Chola as the one that they actually got in. Joey Veerman they were after for a long time. The boy Xavi Simons who ends up going to PSV as well. PSV as well. After for a long time. The boy was at Fulgini or something. The boy who went to Mainz in the summer. He was linked for the day the transfer window opened for the first 2 months. They end up not getting him. So I don't know. I'm the same as you. I was amazed that they never signed at least another 1 or 2 after the Champions League. But the fact of the matter is Celtic look as if they've got the better 11 than now, and they look as if they've got more depth.
Their squad looks...
Even Yilmaz is no player. Like, I thought he was going to be this massive signing, wasn't he, for Besiktas?
I thought he was signing to be the number 1 left back.
But what does that tell you? That tells me that he's not great in training. I might be looking far too much into it. It might be a case where they bought him for the future and they want to give him a bit of time, but they spent 6 million on him. You don't usually do that. You don't spend 6 million if you don't want him to be in the team straight away.
You don't sign players and you keep them on the bench.
Not that price.
Not that level of money. And like you say, Matondo, £4.5 million quid, not even in the squad.
Matondo showed flashes, but it's not been enough.
Was he no 4.5 million?
I think it was 3, but it's still decent outlay of money.
Okay, what's your thought? Champions League tie this week?
I think Celtic win.
Do you?
Aye, I do.
Wow.
I think with the momentum Celtic have got at Park Keedon Tuesday night, I think it's going to be. I think it'll be rocking it. The only thing it's disappointing is this game's worthy any Champions League final, though, isn't it? You really wish they two were in the mountain.
You see that part? That was decent.
15 European Cup finals, isn't it? Between them. 15 between the two. It's unbelievable, though, Andy.
So did you see trophies or finals?
No, 15 European Cup wins between them, and they're going head to head. It's the only disappointment for this tie. It's worthy any final. You don't really want to see it in the groups, but the two of them go.
So you genuinely believe Celtic?
Honestly, I believe they can. I don't think. Do you know this sounds crazy, right? I'm going to slaughter this, but I don't think they've won the Champions League the most times. But I don't think Real Madrid go and hammer teams. Honestly, I don't. The way they play it, that's one of the worst shouts you could maybe hear. But
just to give that to the haters, then.
No, but I don't know. It's a bit different to a Man City, a PSG, or a Bayern or something. But
because see, they've beat them last season. No, I'm not just saying because they beat them. Celtic are going to beat them, but. I don't know.
Real could still battle anyone.
They've got top players, but I don't know what it is. I've just got a feeling.
How have they started the season, Madrid? Do you know?
Good. Won most games. Won majority. I think they might have got a draw. Did they won every game? They're top of the league. Who have they brought in?
I cannot wait to see how Celtic play against.
I tell you what, though, I think Celtic score. I definitely think Celtic score.
I
think Celtic's got a chance. 100%.
And see if you look at it. Sorry, Kevin, you go. Sorry.
I feel like it's one of the big nights, like the AC Milan nights, the Barcelona nights, the Juventus nights when they've got results. Celtic must be, the confidence levels at Celtic tonight must be through the roof. Real Madrid come to town. I know Real Madrid, like Andy says, they'll beat anybody on their day and they could scalp anybody on their day, but it's at Parkhead.
But look at this, Kev, as well.
I just think the quality is such a big step.
But I'll tell you now, Sabbies, you're all missing it, and it's poor at journalism, you've not noticed it. Modric and Kroos, they'll get the legs rotten right after them. They'll get anywhere near Celtic. Do you know they're too fit now? They'll be super fit, but at that at that age, that sharpness they get in about them, they want after.
But they played Man City who run like in Liverpool.
And they get fucking battered by when they get lucky in that tie. And I honestly believe that they'll, if they're 15 minutes, if the camera zooms in on them, they'll not want to be there.
You see Modric like that.
They will run the arse right after them. I don't think so.
To see big Carter Vickers against a world-class striker.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see that. Because Benzema's the best.
He's been really, really good for Celtic domestically. And I'd like to see how he performs against a Benzema. The
worry player I've got is the boy Vinicius Junior. He's fucking brilliant.
But Juranovic is quick, isn't it?
Smash him early doors.
What about Rangers?
Ajax away. Tough.
But I wouldn't surprise you if they went and got a result because of how they've been in Europe.
3 clean sheets on the bounce, raving about Bassey.
I've seen that. They're raving about.
I've been reading about it. They're reading about it up and that, and they are raving about it.
Where were you reading that?
Just on the socials.
On the toilet.
And basically saying that if Ajax can help him with the football side of things and more technical side, that boy's ready to go right to the top.
I've seen that. They're happy with him. Rangers have quite often surprised a lot in Europe and showed their best form in Europe, but Ajax they're top, aren't they? And it's you're talking about not a team that can't scalp people. Ajax scalp people left, right and centre. Domestically,
scalp non-stop there.
Pure possession team.
Steve McLaren, come on, give me a rundown on Ajax just now.
No, I was obviously spoken about it earlier. They've got to go in and be tight, 100%. Genuinely, I know I'm laughing there. They've got to go in tight, and if any wee windows open up, then.
Do you find it tight in Holland?
Any windows up there?
Was it tight?
Straight in.
Was it tight in Holland for you?
No, listen, that's what I'm saying. The Rangers have got to go in. See all this about gung ho and all that. You've got to have the right players in for all that. Rangers sit in, be hard to beat, and then, as I say, the windows open up, go straight in and then take your opportunity. I
think the big opportunity for Rangers and Celtic are their home games in this group stage. And I mean, they're playing top sides, but I think your away games, any points or bonuses, I think Ajax is obviously going to be tough, but if they could get a draw, it's an unbelievable result.
I think Celtic win 6.
6
so in terms what? Of like PSV and Ajax. PSV and Ajax.
No much between them.
Is there not much between as in a league situation? Because Rangers have just...
man, Ten Hag's took all their best players, isn't it?
So Rangers have obviously just obviously put PSV out, so listen, see the Rangers in Europe, nothing's going to surprise you.
He's a Dutch accent.
I couldn't be a Dutch. Paul's better.
No, you're the accent, but you're brilliant.
Was it Dutch people over there?
When I was there? No. I'd stay away for that.
Was it people from
Aye.
So it wasn't actual Dutch?
No, it wasn't Dutch. I stayed away for that wee lane. She's all different earlier, so you choose which side you want to, so I went away, mixed away for the home.
Right, we need to talk about Andy. I'm sorry, mate, but bad results at Angus. I've seen Robbie for a while.
Nah, he wasn't happy, but I said
he shouting in the dressing room like Mackay Stevens like not too loud. Bring it down a notch. Magic and quivering, man. Him and Spears. I heard him and Spears have been staying up late.
Oh, they'll be pals.
They've not been going to bed till after 9. That's where he needs to get to bed earlier.
That chat,
it's affecting the wee man.
They will be pally. But that's Gaffer wasn't happy after the game. Quite right, to be fair. So I say that's probably one of the poorest we've played since I've been here. I just felt so low after the weekend, mate. Just didn't. A performance like that is just never acceptable. I think the Kilmarnock game wasn't great, but I still thought we were in control of the game. It was just the last ball. It was just that last pass, that last bit of decision making was obviously the reason we got beaten that game. But Saturday there was just 20 minutes as well. First 20 minutes were really good. It was just sustained attacks, constant pressure. Had a couple of great chances. Obviously, if you score one of them, it's a different game. But Livy changed their shape after sort of 20-25 minutes. Then after that, it was just nothing really went for us. First balls, second balls. Anytime they cleared it, they just managed to make it stick. So we just couldn't really regain control of the game again. So I think it's really disappointing for us. Obviously, we've still got a lot to play for. Still some big games to go. But for me, the league's your bread and butter. Do you know what I mean? These European games are great. They're a real bonus for you. But I think with the position we're at and where we want to go as a football club, obviously getting to Europe's amazing. The financial benefits that comes, you then try and improve a squad. Then you enjoy that European experience. But your bread and butter again's a league to then get that finance again and keep building. But obviously we need to do much more than we done.
I can see the big man first.
Was it you said it last
on this on.
What bread? What kind of bread? What kind of butter?
Sourdough.
Is it Scottish plain?
Scottish plain.
Scottish plain.
What?
That's
the big brown.
Fuck off.
The big brown fucking crust.
Scottish playing.
That's been done. Warburton's fucked that right.
That's a goat of breads, mate.
That's rubbish. That.
What do you take it? They stupid fins. Warburton fins with seeds.
Not take the wee round ones. The wee round.
The bagels?
No. The wee light blue Warburton's bread.
What, Viagra?
What, the thin one?
You like blind?
The Warburton's
Scottish
thin.
plain, mate.
No.
Blue's thin. Orange is
Actually,
thick,
no, he's been
and
brought to
green's
West
extra
End.
thin.
It's a
Fucking Warburton's round.
No, we
blue.
had the Scottish bread, but I never liked it. Never ever. Anyway,
Right, sorry. I can't
what I was going to say.
Sorry.
Sorry. What I was going to say. You think you said it last week? Do you think it could struggle to use Hivgate Europe though?
Because it's quite choppy changing the team, innit?
Aye.
Have you got
That is, but that is more down to injuries. Like the injuries we've got now, mate, and it's not an excuse, but that would affect any team. You know what I mean?
Because you've got a decent squad. When you're playing Thursday, we've had the Cup game Sunday, this Saturday, then you go to the game Thursday this week with Europa, Collins, whatever it is. You can't see Hearts playing the same team every night, every time they've got a game. So players coming in, players coming out. What you're needing is a bit like how maybe Celtic do it. When you take out one player, one comes in, they know exactly what they're doing. Is there too much change at the minute? But again, like you see, Andy, injuries on Saturday. I know the young boy, is it Nielsen playing at the weekend?
Robbie.
He got Robbie's boy. He got loads of praise last week for a young commanding performance. But this week, what I saw in the highlights and that, he showed his inexperience. Some decisions try to play offside, on the offside. The boy Civic.
Players trying to play offside.
Simon, there's one opportunity where
I know he has a good player,
and the Libby just cleared it. I know he just left it go behind him, thinking, then put his hand up, and it's like Hearts are still 5 yards deeper than what he is, and I'm like, that's just guessing. And then obviously the boy Civic, you're playing against Newbley, who we quite rightly praise most weeks, getting too tight, giving a free kick, getting rolled. Don't get rolled. If he's got your back to goal, he's got your pin, just make sure he goes back the way he's coming, because he's not going to affect you that way. But what they do, you give away a free kick. Poor defending, because obviously the boy, I think the new boy Humphreys, give him a wee bit because he's just in the team, but he sits too deep, the free kick comes in, they get a goal.
I was convinced that was offside or not.
Aye, no, he was miles on, but you don't give away that free kick, you've got to try and stop things before they happen, do you know what I mean? So you don't give away, but Livy were decent for
Nah, they were.
Sorry, but what are you going to do with that snooze that you've just taken?
I'm going to put it back in my mouth after 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just keep it in my hand now, aye. You think I was going to throw it down, didn't you?
I thought you were going to chuck it down.
I seen you first 20 minutes, they had two great opportunities, one for Humphreys and one for Grant, and if you take one of those two chances, you go 1-0 up, the game then becomes different.
But listen, I don't want to be obviously too negative, and I say it all the time, I don't think Martindale gets the credit it deserves. Livy, they're a good team, and obviously their record at home sort of speaks for itself.
I'd love to see him and Mackay Stevens meet each other. And, fuck you looking at it. You can imagine saying it to Mackay Stevens. Fuck you looking at it. Nothing, David.
There's Martindale's doing any mad shouts.
I'd love to see that to Mackay Stevens.
Imagine just threatened him.
Fuck you looking at you wee dick. Can you get me say that next game?
I can't really pick up specifics, but he is very vocal, man. He's probably the most vocal manager.
Is he on the side in the league?
He's so
by
funny,
a mile.
mate.
I'd say by a mile as well. And it's all hand gestures, mate. Fucking loves all this and man. Like, chucking hands a bit for fun.
It doesn't maybe get the credit he deserves, because you say he's changed shape after the first 20.
Changed shape after the first 20 minutes, aye. Because we were
dominating.
We were really dominant the first sort of 20 minutes, and then I'm not actually sure about the change, but they definitely had someone. It was definitely a 4-4-1 to start, 4-4-1-1 to start, because when I was deep getting on the ball, there was the boy Egan Calves, it was kind of run about. And after that, sort of went to a 4-3-3, and they tried to stop it at so they tried to stop the centre half sort of playing the passes. And then, like I said, we never really managed to regain much control after that.
Well done,
By your group in the Europa Conference is unreal, isn't it?
Unreal, mate.
It's a Europa League group.
Talk us through it. Come on, you know the group. Who is it?
Don't know.
Istanbul, Besiktas, which is like Ozil and players like that. Fiorentina, that was the one I wanted for that.
That's amazing,
Fiorentina is unreal, man.
We'll go for that.
Florence, unbelievable stadium, unbelievable stadium. And then Riga.
Rui Costa and Batistuta, mate. They were my favourite.
Couldn't you play the modern day?
Who?
Couldn't you play the modern day too slow?
Think so?
100%.
No,
you played in Europe, man? Have you?
Yes, Paul.
Did you ever play in Europe? Seriously? No.
Yeah?
I played that, a couple of times. What do you think, Andy? But do you think the boys will pick themselves back up for the game Thursday?
Aye, it's near impossible not to get motivated for obviously games like this. So It's obviously brilliant for the club. I think every game sold out at Tynecastle, so obviously at Tynecastle on Thursday. Good team, obviously. Some of the players that they've got, just mentioned, obviously they've got Ozil, and I think they've started their domestic season quite well as well. But I think we showed against Zurich at home. Everyone will say, "Oh, you just get beat 1-0," but
red card.
Obviously, the red card changed the game. Hey,
do you want me to get you strip?
Have you?
I'll get you strip for you, mate.
You'd enjoy playing against the wee man. It's good. Are you playing against any big players you played against at the European games?
Thiago. Huh?
What game?
Thiago played for
Spain.
Wait,
Thiago played for Stoya Bucharest, aye?
No, it was. Do you know what it was? It was the Euros under 17s.
I can tell.
No, I swear to God, but he was in another group. But we had all the teams shared the dinner hall together, so we walked by us a few times. He got on. I two got on, but he liked me. He said.
Good so you're not playing against him now?
No, but I've seen him up personally.
Biggest player you've played? Who's the best player you've played against you, man?
Who would be the biggest name you played against?
I'm struggling. To be honest, I'm struggling there.
I'm the only one that's not played for Scotland.
John Fleck, probably.
You must have played against some big ones, Rangers, no?
John Fleck.
John Fleck. Si, you?
Benzema.
That was the Euros.
Were you playing? Did you start that game?
Started.
Did you? What was he, a joke?
No, he wasn't great.
Was he not?
I could go for a few.
I could go for a few. I didn't know where to start with.
No, yours are sensational, mate.
Yours is a different level, mate. You're Premier League.
Figo,
mate, do you watch the documentary?
Figo.
He's a pig, isn't he?
Where they don't go?
No, I like him. No.
Figo, innit?
Figo documentary going to Barca at Madrid, mate. Brilliant.
Don't do that. You don't do that.
Ronaldo.
Wow.
R9.
No, you've not played against
R9. I meant
Cristiano. He must be a young pup, would you know?
He was. He would have been 2001. He was started and I was on the bench from him.
Henry's the best though.
Henry was.
Was he the best?
Henry's the best ever striker in the Premier League.
100%.
Henry, when you just see him, guy's 6'2", fucking massive legs, like fucking good looking, everything.
I played against Seedorf's brother for Holland.
Did you?
Aye, in the
He went to Dun United, you know, he was fucking hopeless.
He wasn't very, he was good then, but what about you, Andy? You must have played against a few belters.
A few, aye. Biggest name, I don't know about biggest name.
Drogba.
Who's that Chelsea game?
Lampard.
They had everyone, aye. Lampard was the first one, that was at Riverside with Middlesbrough, but Bradford won, Drogba played, Fabregas, Hazard, Willian, Oscar.
Wow.
I might have played Chelsea in the top half, so it was Frank Leboeuf and Desai.
Oh, I loved they too. Leboeuf and Desai, man.
Desai was a joke.
Animal Desai. What about the best individual performance that somebody's had against you?
It's a great shout.
Zola,
Chelsea.
Mate, what a player.
We were 1-0 up.
I know mine.
Is that the one? That's not the one Zola flicked and Poyet scissor kicked it.
No, that was the 4-0 Chelsea beat Sunderland 4-0.
Were you there?
No, that was the start of that season. At the end of that season, I made my debut.
Oh, did you?
But the season after we played Chelsea, Zola, fucking hell, man.
Oh, I loved Zola.
He was unbelievable.
He had the chop on lockdown, didn't he?
I've got two that stand out.
So nice as a guy. He came up, we came down the tunnel because they'd scored late on with Carlton Cole. Came down the tunnel, he was waiting on every Sunderland player and says he's been very good today, very unlucky not to get a result. Shook all our hands.
Oh, what a hero.
Fucking what a guy.
Well, he's just
I just shook him in. Any ball.
Man.
Knows big a name, but Adam Lallana at Southampton is the best player I've ever seen in the Championship, mate.
Really good, aye.
Seeing the Championship for Southampton, I'm no joking. He was like
Cruyffing you in the box and he's in
just
box.
Took the piss. I see when he signed for Liverpool, I honestly thought he will be the best. That's how good I thought he was at that time. And he's still obviously brilliant, played a lot of catch finger in that. And Mahrez at Leicester with Blackpool with Fergie, and I was left back. Fuck.
What, he played right wing?
Oh my god, mate.
Chop.
You did analysis all week, right? You did analysis all week.
His face turns on, he's like, oh my god.
Mate, you did analysis all week though. It's like, this wee guy's going to go on his left foot, but he's going to chop back onto his right. Don't fall for it. You fucking can't get him, mate. It's that sharp.
And it's Fergie going off his tits.
You see, if you don't stop that left foot shot, you score. So you oversell yourself with that left foot. He chops on your right, like fucking hell.
I'm more interested in when the youth football with Benzema and Nasri.
What about it?
Were they unreal at that age?
No, I told you, mate, no. We were just as good. We beat them.
That's mad, that, innit? How it can change.
Mata was better. Mata was a fucking joke. See when I played against Mata, I was like, nah, this is like different level of football, mate.
Was it?
Did Nasri not play as well?
Nasri played, but Mata was better than both of them.
I'm going to flip your question. Who's the biggest name you've played against, but in the game you thought, fuck, he's having a beast?
That's a good question.
Mate, I'm telling you, see that Chelsea-Bradford game? Mo Salah, mate, he was so bad.
Was he?
In that game, he's arguably top 3 best players in the world. In that game, he had one, man. This was at Chelsea though when he did struggle.
Wow.
But I remember thinking during the game, fuck me, they paid fucking 50 million for him or something.
We played Leicester at FA Cup. Bardi was poor, mate. Like, running the ball to the pitch. That was maybe just when he first went to Leicester. We played them FA Cup, but he wasn't great. That was when he was about 8 cans of Red Bull done before games. He used to have 10 cans of Red Bull before a game.
What about you, Kev? You must have that fucking few worldies.
What about a centre half you played against? It was a big bit you thought, I dominated him.
Did you play
Lee Wilkie?
You said Bamber before Lee Wilkie. Lee Wilkie's a tough boy,
Lee
mate.
Wilkie's fucking hard.
He's hard as nails, Lee Wilkie.
Fucking giant. Big. Who was really...
I notice he's keeping quiet on this question. I'm just trying to think.
Did he play well when you were at Ayr or Clyde? No, did he play against...
Paddy Boy was fucking
MK Dodge reserves, you're not playing against any good players?
A few good boys. There's no point me keep on talking.
Have you got one for this?
Jamie Ness.
Who?
Jamie Ness.
You must have went against somebody who was outstanding on the day.
Hassan Sass was unreal. Who? Remember the wee Turkish baldy guy?
Hassan Sass? No way.
In the Euros.
He was fucking some player.
Was he?
Hassan Sass. Or just say HP Sass.
You got a stutter?
HP Sass.
Sorry, I like the down sauce better.
Well, bloody a lot, fuck. There's no point in keeping on, but...
I don't know what we're fucking talking about now.
No, so have you got one?
Oh, God.
Best individual you said Zola,
centre half, let me think. Who did I play as a centre half and I thought...
You've said up Martin thingy before.
Martin Larsson was unbelievable.
You and Keown. Martin
Larsson, the Swedish boy.
For Denmark.
He was a good player.
Denmark.
Villa captain.
AC Milan, Villa. He was fucking unbelievable.
Who was the other Swedish Melberg guy?
He was a handsome boy, wasn't he?
That was brilliant, that wee bit there, that was class.
Right, we're on Dundee United Motherwell, big news for Park, Euro Club, and a hero's back, Louis Moult, what a signing that?
That's a great signing, aye. I didn't think he would have came back, I thought he'd have done well wherever he went. I can't remember. Preston, aye. I thought he'd have done really well there. I don't, to be honest, it's quite bad, I don't actually know how it went with him there, but obviously if he's back...
He done great,
Aye, so I'm surprised that, because he was really good at Motherwell, but I think it's a brilliant signing for them, and as we've always said, you're only as good as your...
I heard Motherwell were excellent Saturday against
Motherwell were brilliant.
Hamill's done well. I watched even Kelly game last week, could have went either way. They've created a lot of chances.
He's doing great, Hammy, hasn't he?
I like Hammy, I like the way he talks.
He missed a pen, didn't he?
Missed a pen, had a couple of really good, should have scored with a header. He's been unlucky with a swiveling turn at the end, but they looked really, really good. So would you think if Moult comes in, do you think they play Moult and Van Veen up front, two up front?
That'd be a handful, wouldn't it?
Van Veen sometimes played off the left, didn't he? But I think that was a massive signing for them, because I think they're probably a wee bit too reliant on Van Veen scoring goals. I think out with him, there's not really much goals in the team. And he banged them in for fun when he was up here. I think he was a goal every 2 games, scored some big goals as well.
Really good.
So Hammy's bringing back Motherwell legends, one's back playing, could there be a return?
Well,
mate, do you know
he wants a team Horner, didn't he?
I said there, no, that's dead timid, didn't he? Said the boys are really shy, not about the place for Bankston. But listen, I would take it to the board. I would go in a second. I think it would be one of the greatest returns in Scottish football.
Imagine that happened, that you could get yourself back up and back to Motherwell.
But at the end of the season, if I can get myself fit, playing games, playing in, I think that's a strong
it makes sense.
I think that could happen, seriously. And you're thinking, by the way, the crowds and that, and the money they're making, you'll make a hell of a lot of money if I go back there, aren't they? Seriously though.
Shirt sales and that.
Aye, so that's potential. Me and Hammy are really close.
Hammy does like you.
Aye, he's a great guy, and he helped me a lot when I was young, so can I see why that wouldn't happen?
So you would just a how?
On a second, aye. Right away, aye. We're playing that much longer.
Dundee United, who gets the job?
What's happening? Is there any strong rumours, sorry?
Is there anybody front runner?
Craig Brewster.
I'll pass.
Brewster and Malpass,
Andy McLaren.
Andy McLaren would be good. Aye.
There's actually nobody mentioned really. I've not heard anybody that's. You know how normally when a manager gets a
get the Grosvenor app up, see who's the favourite.
CJ, I felt for Jack Ross, did you?
I felt for him,
mate.
You could see how kind of stressed he was, couldn't you?
Who do you think that?
He was a ball here for an OnlyFans, wasn't he? Because he was getting pumped every week and getting no money for it. So it's just get on the OF, mate, because that was.
Do you think they're too early?
9-0, mate.
Do you think that they're taking it too early, Andy?
No.
Honestly, right, I know it's hard to say, man, when some of the results are but I did think it was too early. Because he is a good coach. I mean, he did really well at St Mirren. I don't care what anyone says, he did do well at Hibs. And the fact of the matter is, when they obviously sacked him at Hibs, it never really turned much for the better for Hibs, did it, towards the end of the season. I think they'll be obviously happier now that they've got Lee Johnson's, but I think the squad was good. I think they got a good manager. I think it was more the manner of the results when it was.
It was the amount of the goals we were conceding. That was, it just didn't look right at all.
Watching the Motherwell highlights.
Just sorry, I just slid in there.
If Dundee United were to defend as well as what they did on Saturday against Celtic, it wouldn't have been 9 and Jack Ross probably wouldn't have been at his job.
I think he's changed the shape in it.
Mate, Dundee United's squad, mate.
I know.
What a squad.
3-5-2. Could they get relegated? Have you got an appointment yet?
No, they're too much quality sign. They've got a manager in there.
But St Johnstone that have picked up as well. St Mirren are doing well.
I just don't see it. I think they've got a great. I think they've got a cracking squad there.
I don't think Dundee United showed anything on Saturday to think they were going to, anything was going to be better.
They've not got a manager though.
They defended better on Saturday in terms of keeping Dundee.
But never.
I think that was a lot of their success under Tam Coates though. Defensively, they were so good. And they've got. They have got players that can score goals.
What about the talk with Sean Maloney last week? Is that too much of a gamble to go and take Sean Maloney?
I think so.
Do you need somebody that's tried and tested Premier League? Why not go and get Davy Martindale? Nah?
Well, I don't see anything against it. He's done really well. Would he leave Levy? I don't know if he would leave Levy.
Dundee United, you'd think, nah? I know he's got a big role at the club, but...
Depends what see Dundee United, but what are they... See the people are bringing managers in, what are they asking? Do they want managers to come in and play a certain way, or... I don't know.
I think they want them in Europe, isn't they?
Well, they're in Europe.
I don't know who. There'll probably be somebody totally left field that'll get this job. I don't think anybody in Scotland's going to get the job.
Should we just keep tipping Kevin Thompson for every job in
Scotland?
It's got to be Tom.
Obviously, Si, you've had 3 wins in the Vines. You get another couple of...
Good timing, innit? Figure that out.
Now I'm getting United job. No, I wouldn't take it, mate. Brimhill. I'm not like him. Loyal to your boys.
Aye. You would fucking take that in a heartbeat.
You
take that in a heartbeat.
Are you coming to the meal? Are you coming to the meal tonight after what you've just said?
Not be there.
You got a team meal tonight?
I cancelled training, taking them out.
Good. Like
Box bar. Going to go the night if he's fancy it.
Oh, that's healthy for mini Simps then. I can't wait to see his menu in Box Bar.
The
veggie menu. He's on the veggie menu. Any other names you can think of?
I don't know.
Honestly, Dundee United will be fine, mate. They've got too much quality in their squad to get sucked into a relegation battle for me.
Okay. I said Dale McInnes as well, but I don't know if they'd go and spend money on a manager to get him. He'd be a great fit for Dundee. He played there, ex-player, ex-captain.
He'd be the right.
Knows what the expectations of the club. Malky Mackay would be another good shout.
I think Malky would be a good shout.
Dale's the one I think they should go and get. Whatever it takes, go and get him.
You know, you could look at what he done at Aberdeen. That's kind of where Dundee United want to be, didn't they? Why not go and get the guy that's done it before? Anyway, Hibs, they've signed Harry McKirdy. By the way, what a boy he is.
He's a good player as well.
My 2 boys love him because we were doing Swindon obviously watching the playoffs last year and he was really good, so they're his favourite players. I met him in the summer in Marbella. He was out with Cal.
Oh, was he?
Him and Cal were in a nightclub in Marbella. We ended up sitting with him. Good boy.
Was he?
I think he'll do really well. He's the type that you need. You've got that type of character that you need to go and play with. Very confident, Gallus. I think he'll score a lot of goals for them. Good signing.
Well, Hibs, for what I've seen anyway, looked pretty dominant at the weekend. I know it doesn't help Kilmarnock go down to 10 men after, was it 10 minutes or something?
Yep.
And Ash Taylor's been a big player for Kilmarnock under Derek McInnes, so Hibs looked really comfortable. I think they'll be delighted to get an R-Cup win towards the end of the transfer window because I think they were a couple of players short. But.
He has been back, hasn't he, Lee Johnson?
Aye, definitely. He's seen some of players, aye.
Yeah.
So he's got the players in that he feels can do well, so now he's got to get a settled team together and start picking up more consistently points. Obviously, I think Saturday would help with the fact that Kilmarnock did go down to 10 men after 10 minutes. That's massive, but then you've got to go and get the goal. They got the goal quite quick, Newell, and then they had other opportunities. But I think, like I said at the beginning, I think Hibs will be alright this year. They'll maybe be a surprise package.
You tip United for third.
Fucking hell. That's a shock.
Can you just give me a wee rundown of the games for the weekend? Just your favourite goals of that you've seen?
I think the one with the penalty Van Veen misses. They should have won that game.
No, goals that have been scored.
Goals that have scored.
What's your favourite goal for the weekend?
One Hibs was a cracker.
What was it like?
We think. I'm part of the team now. I can't watch for weird analysis.
Have you watched your game for the weekend?
I watched it Sunday. So I feel like I watch highlights either. It's a great game, the bonus minute, watching it back.
I want to actually watch your game back.
It's not been recorded. So I don't know how you've managed to watch it.
I got to record the VO.
VO, did you?
Aye.
There's a guy at the school run saying hello to me every fucking day, right? Hello, hi Kevin. I was like, how you doing, mate? And I kept saying, I know this fucking guy from somewhere. It's a fucking video guy that does the games.
Oh, he's funny, mate. See the games that I get sentenced though, he forgets that he's not meant to speak. So see the ref, he goes, you fucking idiot, to the ref. He's brilliant, mate.
He is a nice big guy, actually.
I've never met him, I'll need to.
He does the school run, he's a nice big guy.
I tasted it off camera, my neighbour came up to Bo'ness and never even realised, turned round, he's standing there.
There to support you, aye?
To support us, the team. So I went and chapped his door when I got back. He's like, come in.
So is it the only home games that are recorded by yous, and then the away games are just up to the other
team? The away games are usually recorded by us, but it wasn't at the weekend. So.
Sleep.
What about VAR down south at the weekend?
Embarrassing. We meet Paul O'Hara had a meltdown on Sky Sports.
Did he?
Get rid of it! Just fucking get rid of it!
No, you don't just get rid of it.
What are you talking about, Jimmy?
Listen, don't if I get it wrong in England, what is it going to be like up here?
Mate, honestly,
what is it going to be like up here?
See, generally, I'm dreading VR. I do hate it though. No, but I do hate it. I think it is, if it's used right, I think it can be a huge benefit. The offside's good. Do you know what I hate? I hate the refs going to the monitor. See if you've got 4 qualified referees in a fucking office, going to just make the decision if it's a fucking foul or not, instead of stopping the game for 3 minutes for the ref to go back and know when he's gone back he's going to change it. They just do it.
How good would it be if the guy in the office just stuck a wee porno up on the monitor when he came?
That's what I'm watching. No, that's your spot on this.
What is it? Somebody should just be in his ear and go, it's a penalty.
Because they all say, look how VAR's used in rugby. Like, fucking, that's what we should be. Well, use it like rugby then. Do it the same. Just tell it, right, it's a fucking free kick, it's not a free kick. The game stopped for like 3 minutes though. And then see an all right, no, hang on, see this boy celebrating goals and then a minute later it's disallowed. Can he celebrate goals because you're fucking shit scared for the VAR signal to come up?
I've took our game. Took our game away for us.
Get VAR at your games though, by the way. I've seen some poor decisions in
Saturday. Centre forward gets kicked in the fucking heat in the 6-yard box.
Aye.
What was it the ref said to me at half time? I didn't deem it dangerous or something.
No dangerous play.
He's kicked him in the fucking face.
Mate, the ref gave a throw in and the linesman gave a goal kick. Remember? Two were staring at each other.
Oh, mate.
Listen, it's part of the game. It's hard. Listen, it's hard being a referee though.
That is hard. I understand that bit.
And you're not the nicest to them sometimes, so.
Right, this is Andy's part of the show.
Right, Andy, take it away.
Yes, right. YouTube questions. Thank you for your questions last week. I've had a lot of good feedback.
YouTube questions.
The YouTube questions, it went down really well. So thanks for your questions this week. We're starting with big Renix.
He's
looking absolutely shocking. Question for the next one, boys. Biggest club that came in for you but the deal fell through, or a club that you've not mentioned on the podcast? Good question, actually.
That is a good question.
So anyway, let's start with you.
Chelsea.
Lies.
I did.
When you're young?
15. No, 14. Playing against Livingston away. What's that wee pitch outside the stadium called?
Just an Astro outside the stadium.
Tony Macaroni's that.
Tony Macaroni's Astro.
It's not a stadium, it's not got a name.
So I was there and a guy came up, Harry something, came up to my dad and gave us a wee card and it was Chelsea on it. He said, listen, we've been looking for a while, but...
Mate, that was the Celtic scout Harry.
Aye, what was his name again?
I think it was Harry Hood.
No, it wasn't Harry Hood.
No, there was another guy called Harry Hood that did Chelsea scout. No, the Harry Hood.
And then he asked us to go down for a few weeks to train. But
genuinely?
Aye, but I was 14 or something and I don't know how it didn't come. I think it was just to go down and train and for whatever reason it didn't happen and then that was it. The last interest I heard from him.
Right. Superb. Sorry.
I was Man U when I was 16. I was going to go to either Celtic or Man U. But I stayed at Celtic because of Tommy Burns, obviously.
Superb.
I'm not saying mine now.
You'd have played
Chelsea and Man U.
Under no, my passing was too scratchy.
But he
loves
Scottish boys though. Fletcher and that.
You'd
have played at Man U then.
After I left Swindon, I was going to go to Charlton and that fucking fell through. It was
big
devastating. Big club, I was Corpusely.
Was he the manager?
I can't remember who the manager was. Tommy Miller, do you know Tommy Miller that played?
Aye.
It was his dad, he was a Charlton. You know Tommy Miller's dad?
Aye, great guy.
He phoned me and says Charlton, but that fell through and I was fucking...
Do you know, by the way, here's one for you. See, when I signed for Celtic, see the 2 days before, Rangers wanted me.
Did they? Mm-hmm. Who came up to your house? Haley, wasn't it?
Haley, aye. That's what put that off. So you can't read it.
Murty, wasn't it? Murty was a few hours.
Aye. No, but generally they were there and the talk was because something was happening, so I can't remember, and then Rangers Seville took him. But
that's because your mum was Stuart McCall. she was at Rangers at the time.
You wonder that guy in Saturday slot my ma.
Right, and who's yours?
I mentioned obviously the one at Parma. Went on trial with Parma when I was 14 or 15.
That's ridiculous.
The contract offer was there. I could have signed it, but I think I was 14 or 15 at the time. I had to see the thing that the reason I didn't sign it was when I went over there. It was literally like a big mansion, right, with like 80 rooms for all the youth players, and all of them stayed there. And I was just like, fuck that, this. Man. So you're literally, it was like like a university
Blackburn
hall, do you know what I mean? You've
well,
literally just got like
it's horrible.
a room with 2 bedrooms. I'd be sharing with this wee Italian prick when they speak English. Nah. So it just proper put me off. But when I went to Middlesbrough, there was a few clubs, but the main 2 that the contract, everything was there, was Newcastle and Middlesbrough. And I still look back on it in this day thinking, I wonder what it was like if I said, wait, what would have happened if I signed for Newcastle?
Wow.
Because the reason I signed for Middlesbrough was the fact it was Gordon Strachan. There was a lot of Scottish players there. It was 3 hours up the road, which was still the same as Newcastle, to be fair. But I think just that Scottish sort of group that was there, I thought would help me settle quicker. And I went down there for League 2 at Livingston to Middlesbrough, and I was playing games like basically straight away. But obviously, Stanton get the sack killed me. So like I think my career down there. Mogga, but see when Mogga first came in, I'd done a grade 2 in my groin, so I was out for 10 weeks, and I'm telling you now, Mogga thought I was like a cleaner or something for the first 6 weeks, because he just seen me walk about with this training kit, no idea if I was a player or not.
Yeah, Arnold's grand of that.
So I think that just like, Stratton getting the sack definitely did kill me for the start down there.
Kev Palace, innit? You were going to go for a big door, maybe tell me.
Everton too.
Wow.
I was injured and I got back fit, and Mick McCarthy phoned me and says, how's the injury? And I said, I'm fine, back playing, I should be alright. And he says, David Moyes has phoned me, interested in Duncan's retiring.
So you could have been in the big house signing?
No.
And
why did you know?
I tell you why I didn't. And it was my own fault. Because I didn't have an agent at the time, I didn't know how to progress it. So instead of me getting in touch with Moyes and saying, I am up for coming to Everton, I just fucking waited for McCarthy to phone me back, and he never phoned me back, so...
See what you're saying about not having an agent at the time, right? So I remember, obviously I had an agent when I first signed for Middlesbrough, and I was sitting in the car with my big mate Scoot when the contract negotiations with Middlesbrough were going on, and my agent phoned me, and I was sitting in the motor with my mate, and I was like, so I was on 65 quid a week at the time at Livy, and I was like, mate, imagine I'm getting like 500 quid a week or something at Middlesbrough, how good that be? And he's like, no. Mate, see, my agent phoned me and like told me what I was like, couldn't believe it. And it does, like, people talk about like agents and that. See, when you're a young boy, you need an agent when you're younger, man, because you don't know what's going on. Like,
you need an agent as a young boy if you're doing a decent deal. You don't need a fucking agent as a young boy if you're playing for fucking Airdrie.
Or if you're in the Lowland League, do not fucking have an agent. I'm not talking to him.
It's like, but no, I just didn't have enough clout about me to move things forward. But
I was the same to you when I was at Celtic and I went on loan to Swindon, and you come back and then Swindon like, we want to buy you. And that same phone call, your agent phones you and he's like, this is what Swindon are offering you, mate. You're like that in the fucking living room.
Mate, I was fucking bouncing in the morning. Couldn't believe it, mate.
See the feelings of like having kids and stuff and that and getting married are great feelings. But see when you get that phone call for an agent and you say, there's the contract offer, and you're like, right, where do I sign? No, we'll get more. And you're like, fuck off, really? Fuck off. No way. Fuck off, really. I remember my first contract at Sunderland was on fucking, what was on, 150 quid a week. And then Peter Reid says, hey, big man in the office, here's a contract offer. So when here, think about it. So I took it away, opened up the envelope, got him, was like, fucking hell, 5-year deal. I was on, they offered me, so I went to 150 to like 450, 556, 650. And then $2,000 a year signing on fee for, so it was like 10 grand. And I was like, fucking hell. So I went back in the next day, Peter had it signed. I says, there you go, there's that contract, gaffer. He signed it. I says, no, don't be so fucking stupid. He says, get yourself an agent. He says, you get more money. I was like,
that's brilliant.
He says, what's an agent? He says, I'll get in touch with one. So he got this wee guy called Gilly. So we got the contract back.
Gilly, he was a few of the Celtic players, Tony
McGill.
That's right.
So fucking come back in. About a month later, I signed a 3-year deal. And I went from fucking the 450 initial offer signed for 800 quid. So it was 8, 9, 1,000 and 15 grand a year signing on fee. I was like, fucking hell, man.
Well, see, when I was at Celtic, because teams down south wanted it as well, Celtic gave me a signing on fee at 16, similar over 3 years. You're like, holy fuck, man. My mum was like, what?
I know.
They work more their life and they don't get it like that.
I couldn't believe it.
So see, saying to you as well, when I got the phone call about the contract, man, the motor bouncing, tell my pal what was on and all that. See, when I went down, Paul, you'll be able to find this article. Gordon Strachan done an interview on me, like that, got this young kid and they had going for sweeties.
I've never seen that
mate, so see, for the first like 6 months, I was called Tuck Shop Andy or the players. So, and then see, I'm like, contact that one. Mate, I was the lowest paid by honestly about 20 grand. It wasn't even normal.
And I mean, you found that out.
So how the fuck am I only on this? Playing every week, you know, at the time I was fucking raging, mate.
But that was the worst thing, see, because you were young and it was to say it was 15. You think, I'm getting 45 grand, but you didn't realise you're getting taxed at the end of the fucking seminar. You know, putting their card in, checking, I'm going to have 15 grand in my account. Like,
mate,
I'm phoning kids like that. I've been done.
Can you remember your first wage slip, mate, after getting like your first proper contract? Fucking couldn't believe
the tax, mate.
I'll tell you what I'll do next week, right?
Man.
I've got, I think, my first Coventry wage slip when I got the sign-on fee and everything, and I kept it because it was the highest one I'd ever earned. And I've kept it, and I was going to frame it in that, so I'll maybe bring it in next week and we'll get fucking stuff.
Bring it in, mate.
It shows you an idea, because I was thinking, fucking, I've just signed for Coventry, 150 grand sign-on fee, 50 grand each year. Yeah. And I thought, right, I'm on fucking like 7 grand a week, so 4 sevens is 28, and the 50, I'm fucking getting 80 grand this month, right? Came in at 80 grand, I was like, I only got about 47 grand, I went, stop it, where's the money?
All right, that is it.
No.
How many take off you?
What, tax?
Tax. I mean, I think look back at the fucking amount of tax you pay in your life.
That's some dough he was on doing it.
Fucking I know. I'm not showing you mine. I'm not showing you my poxy grand a week at Middlesbrough.
Right, question for next week. Favourite kit you've ever played in?
Big Reece 97.
Is that leather one that you were in?
Is that... Who asked it?
Who asked it?
Reece 97.
Oh, what's Reece? He's not got... Is he?
Aye, why is he looking down at the ground like that?
Looking at his dick in
his
fucking...
Shocking, Reece.
Reece 97, so that makes him 25.
Well done, good maths.
Aye.
You're good at your maths,
Favourite kit?
Favourite kit? That nappy that the Jet puts you in.
Can I tell you my worst? How bad's the Bradford kit?
Oh, Bradford kit stinking. Orange burgundy.
You should generally get a free one in the broomstick with that kit, because it's fucking minging, mate. I used to see when you used to put it on though, you but I looked terrible. Just feel terrible in it, man.
Aye.
My Dundee kit with Puma, it was so tight, and I was going to a fat stage, mate. Long hair.
The long hair, what a picture that is.
Holy fuck, man. Just put Gary Harkins used to say
put that picture up there.
We should get that of them up. The pictures will be floating about.
That Dundee kit was
I really like the Hearts kit this year.
Aye, Hearts is a nice one this year.
I really like the Hearts kit this year. I think it's a nice kit.
See, I don't think I ever played in nice kits.
We had a great kit, Swindon, Samsung, Adidas, brilliant.
That was a belter, that one,
kit, I loved it.
And the one I loved the most was when we played with Sunderland, we got sponsored with Nike, and we got the like fucking 3/4 length training kits and that. They were amazing, but I've never really had in a strip where I thought I was getting by that.
Sunderland kits.
I like my
red, white stripes.
I like my second year kit at Rangers, the home one, Puma home one.
What was that, Hawthorn or something?
That was tight. No, that was before I was there. Who was the sponsor actually? I can't remember who the sponsor was.
I'm thinking you're saying about tight strips, right? I was at my mum's yesterday, and the kids were... I've got a big fucking thing about kids' medals from my youth playing days. So the kids are going through them on, and she says, I've got some strips in the cupboard. So I've got the strips out, some old tops. I tried on one, right, and it's fucking baggy on me now, and I'm fat as fuck. What did I look
I know,
like?
what size that must have been.
What size would that have been when I was skinny?
I told the story when we played at McDermott Park, didn't I? And Jimmy Bell gave me a XXL. Mate, we were playing at St John's, the last game of the season, McDermott Park. It was a red and white away kit. And I think I'd swapped kits with somebody the last time we used that kit. So this was the last game, and I've looked at the kit on the peg, and I was like, nah, that can't be mine. So I checked the thing, and it was XL, and I was like, Jimmy, what the fuck? It's an XL. And he's like, you gave your fucking last kit away last week. We've not got any more mediums. I was like, I can't wear that, Jimmy. That's fucking ridiculous. And honest to God, right, it's the warm up. And I've done it, it's done here, right? I was like, fuck, I need to tuck this in. And see, I've tucked it in, it's came at the bottom of my shorts. I was like, I'm not playing. I can't play with this kit on. And I'm running in the pitch, right? And I feel my jersey like waft to the back.
That's the worst, a big tap.
I feel so slow running about, mate.
Celtic strip, innit?
Brilliant. Right, what's the next question?
Oh, yours. Celtic strip, aye.
What was your favourite
Anyone.
Did you wear that?
Any fan. Few fans, innit? Any
what did you like about the European Cup on there?
That right there, Champions League badge. Do you ever get that, seriously?
I've got Champions League tops.
Have you?
I was in the squad a couple of times, but not on the bench. 20th man.
What a feeling it is when you see your name in it. 20th man, yeah. I'm now 16.
Declan RFC 27 has asked for the boys, what's the weirdest shout you've heard from an opposition player that's trying to get at you during the match? Can I start, right? Because John Joe Shelby called me a baldy bastard once.
No chance.
I swear to God.
That's genius, man.
And see that way, I didn't even know what to say. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how is he calling me a baldy bastard?
That's brilliant for him.
He cashed somebody off, right? It's the first time I've actually heard somebody cash somebody off on the pitch. And I couldn't even keep it in. I was only young at the time. I don't know, I'd been 19 or something. I was like, shut up, you big time bastard. And he just turned and looked at me and went, who you talking to, you baldy bastard? I was like, what?
Nah,
I swear, that's it. I didn't say another word. I didn't even answer back. And do you know what? He's actually sounded, I'd like spoke to him a couple of times after, and he's actually a lot like sounded what people probably make him out to be.
What about you?
What is it, the opposition?
Any shouts to you or any shouts you've heard?
I told you on that under the cost, Martin Allen's shout to John Spicer was fucking sensational.
What is that again?
So we were playing Notts County and DeCanny was fucking screaming at me this game, and Martin Allen was on John Spicer this game as well. So we were right up against each other and we were like looking at each other like, we cannot get a fucking break off of these two. Spicer passes the ball back to me, Martin Allen fucking to the side of the pitch. Spicer! We are playing fucking that way. Spicer's face, man.
I was looking at this question last night.
I know, I'm struggling with it, I have no go.
I couldn't think, because fucking hell.
Toilet.
I can't even remember anybody saying anything that I would think was out of turn or funny or stupid. No,
I told you when I met Martin, I was going to sign for Martin Allen. I told you that, if I said it on here. So I was going to sign for him, but when I was at Swindon, he was a Cheltenham manager. So we were driving in from Swindon back to our digs. It was kind of between Swindon and Cheltenham. So pulling at the car garage. Do you know Alex Revel? You ever play against him? He's a Stevenage manager.
Striker?
Big Reds, we stayed together. So we pulled in the car garage. Oh, you're in for a treat. Here's Martin. Martin Allen's in the garage. So he's like, he sees Revel and he's like that. Waving at the window, we're in the motor, and Rev's like to me, he's off it by the way, he's miles off it. So he comes at the garage, he's got about 6 grab bags of walkers. He's like, alright boys, how are you enjoying it then? You loving it? Loving life, yeah? And Rev's like, alright man, how are you? And he goes, you liking it son? You liking it at Swindon? And I was like, yeah, enjoying it. I said, how's Cheltenham? He goes, Cheltenham's fucking brilliant. He goes, there's 6 nightclubs in Cheltenham and I'm banned from 4 of them. I just walked to his motor, mate. 6 nightclubs banned for 4. What a fucking hero, man. Martin, did you ever play against his teams?
I don't know if I would have, to be honest. I can't even think.
Funny guy.
Some of the stories you've talked about, the set pieces one at around the bit's fucking amazing.
That's sensational.
That's one of the best
centre
stories.
forwards running through that game against Notts County. I was off the pitch. Centre forwards running through and he's like that to a bench. Don't fucking worry, you'll miss. But your guy missed. He went, I told you he's fucking hopeless or something like that. He was saying to us.
Could you get him on?
I know his nephew. I know his nephew quite well. He was a young boy at Swindon.
Was Lily on it?
We'll get him on. But he was on under the cost, wasn't he? And he was, Lily. He said, we'll try and get him on to. What a hero.
Right, Andy.
Right, Liam Kerr.
You know,
by the way,
one?
so again, I
couldn't understand that one.
I'm somewhat used to for this one. I looked at this question and I'm struggling, but it is a very good question. Question for all 4 of the lads. In the last couple of years, we've seen the likes of Callum McGregor really mature and grow into the role of a captain for Celtic, but also step up his game. Has there been a player that the lads have played with or came across that they've seen firsthand that moment they've changed or adapted for the better?
Callum McGregor for me.
It's a good question, but it's hard, man.
I know he said Callum McGregor, but it was actually Callum McGregor for me. We were in the reserves together and he went into the first team and you knew right away he's going to be the best.
How did you know?
He's the best player in training.
Well, that's not really changed though, is it? Or adapted? I think he's more thinking about somebody that's done well but just kicked on, nah.
Sorry.
Big Charlie would be one. Big Charlie would tell you he's never been the most highly thought at Celtic. We all got like 3-4 year deals. Charlie was on 1 year deals getting expenses. And if you'd asked me back then that he'd gone and do what he did, then I think he'd tell you that himself. But as soon as he got in the first team, Charlie really took to first team football. Don't know what it was about him that done it, but went on and had a fucking unbelievable career.
It's a great shot, aye.
I never really got there's a couple of guys that, I don't know, when I was at Kilmarnock, Craig Bryson was a kind of youngish. He came from Clyde to Kilmarnock and I thought he was decent. He had a great engine and in box to box was very, very good. But at the end of that season, the second season, I think he started adding other parts to the game, and then eventually when you seen him go for Kilmarnock, I think to Derby, and then I think at Derby he became quite a bit of a club legend, played a lot. I think they were unfortunate a few times.
He's a legend at Derby, mate.
I think I just read there at the weekend he's retired after 610 games. So
what
for
a career that is, mate.
610 games. So for me, for the boy that he was at Clyde to go to Kilmarnock to then go to Derby, that just shows progression constantly. But working, I think there's a picture, I think Sean Rooney put a picture of him up with his fucking ripped. He was never like that at Kilmarnock because he hated the gym. So at some point he's obviously went and worked on his figure, his physique and stuff, because he's not the biggest.
Yeah.
And then the other person, and I'll say this, and I don't mean any disrespect, but when I first went to Hearts, Ryan McGowan, Gowser, Billy Brown used to fucking pull me to the side and say, look at this, she'd been able to fucking hear the first team, Karen.
It just shows you though, doesn't it?
It's fucking hopeless. But Gowser what he wasn't great and worked on and became good, and then eventually he's ended up scoring
great career
a cup final goal for Hearts against Hibs. I went on, had an unbelievable career, went away to, was it China, for big money, and then floated back. I think he's now at St Johnson. So for likes of him, Gouser, I would say, who's worked really hard and made the best of what he had. And I would say the same for myself. I was a bit like you say, Charlie, would he have made it? But I worked fucking hard and I got to where I got to. So that's probably the highlight. That's that question answered.
That's it. Mine's is more like boys that I've played with where I thought they were all right, but they went on to have unbelievable. So I haven't actually seen the change.
Was Cal know about that? People say Cal.
Definitely. Well, Cal's career never really started, shall we say. He got to about 26 after he went to Accrington Stanley and obviously done really well. Then went to Pompey, done well, kicked on again. Obviously Luton was Luton's captain, centre half. Now he's doing really well at Bristol, so Cal's definitely one.
So that's how I would say.
I think you're
flying.
On him saying that, like when I saw Carl at Rangers, when I looked at him, Perry, Hutton, and Cole. Was it Cole?
Dan Cole.
I'd have said none of them will go on hate careers because they're too fucking stupid. They're not taking it serious enough. But Carl has, so something changed somewhere. Aye, so.
I like about Charlie. So Charlie was the first out of all this group that went to the manager and said, I want to go on loan and play. I think he went to Dundee United at 18.
Aye, that's good.
And went and done really well, and that he obviously got belief for that. And then after that, we were on trying to get out on loan. So he was the first one that kind of had the balls to go and say, I want to go play first.
See, I look at that question, the first player that's come to my head is Umar Sadiq. He's just gone for 20 million.
Mate, remember, you actually made a couple of jokes about him on here when he was at Rangers.
Mate, he's been linked with Man U and all these clubs. He's just went for 20 million there. Just scoring goals for fun in the league.
Is that the one that came on loan?
The Rangers, Big Sadiq.
Oh my God. For Man U, the one that came on loan?
He came on, you're thinking
of. I'm thinking Diallo.
He came on loan for team in Eredivisie, played one game, and then he's been absolutely flying ever since. He's went for 20 million. But in training, he wasn't great, to be honest. I wouldn't look at him and say he's going to go for £20 million one day. No. So I've not seen his game adapt, but it obviously has, because the fact that he's went and done that's outrageous.
Sensational. Last one here, Darcy Turner.
She got a bit last week.
I thought Darcy was the bird, but I think Darcy's the guy.
Is it?
Oh, he's on his skelted the cheers for answering the questions. The house Mrs. is buzzing with the mention Slinny 1v1 square go.
Wow.
We'll take her a 1v1 first. Whoever wins that and can go and face him, but I can guarantee you the twos will win that 1v1. There'll be no winner there.
Excellent.